back whales were caught making the Fibonacci sequence in the water. Check this out, y'all. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. You know what I'm saying? And the animals communicate to us in this way. They're letting us know something is coming. Because remember all those animals earlier last year? They were all walking around in circles. The ants, the deers, the ducks. Now look at that. The whales.
So I'm just gonna pause this right here, and I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but that is very common. That's how they hunt. So what happens is the school of fish that they're hunting is usually in a pretty wide band of a group, right? And so then they see whales coming, which that means danger, and they all start to clump together, and then they start swimming in these spirals underwater. I've dived with them. You can see them. They start swimming in these big circles underwater. So what the whales do is the whales come under them and start blowing air up from their blowholes wherever they are, which is that spiral pattern. They're trying to stun them. And then when they get enough stunned, they open their big mouth and take a big gulp of it. And then, another whale comes in and starts doing the same thing. It's a team effort. That's very common. That's not anything that's strange. I know it may look strange to someone that hasn't seen that before, but that's one of my points. You have to be cognizant of who you're listening to and what you're looking at. This is not any kind of new phenomenon, not even remotely. This is very normal. Whales hunt like this, you know. A lot of them hunt for krill, and krill are very small. A lot of them hunt for, slightly bigger fish than krill, but not that big. The biggest animals in the world eat the smallest things. If you look at a sperm whale, you know, biggest thing in the world, or a blue whale, filter feeders. They feed on plankton, microscopic matter. Just plankton, little things. Excuse me. So I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but there's nothing special here. I'll let the video play out just to see what he says, because I actually liked some of the stuff that this guy put out. But this right here is just showing his ignorance for the topic he's speaking on. And this is one thing that I don't like when you're putting out content and then you're speaking on it like it's a new thing or like it's something that should be paid attention to when it's a very common thing. You know, it's like sometimes the sky is not completely blue, it's pink and brown, and people are like, "Oh, look at the sky." You know, you're talking, light refraction. Our atmosphere does not reflect blue light, it absorbs it from the water, which is why we have blue atmosphere. It's be careful who you're listening to, but I'm gonna let this play out.
Which are highly, highly intelligent animals. Check this out, y'all. Again, the Fibonacci sequence, that's the circle of life. Look at that, the golden ratio. What do you think they're telling us, y'all?
Sorry, I gotta interrupt again. I am so sorry. I truly am sorry. Whales are very intelligent, but I think the super intelligent species that he's thinking about are dolphins. So it doesn't matter whether it's a killer whale, which killer whale is backwards. It's whale killer. The Inuit, when the colonialists came to America and then Canada, and they dealt with the Eskimo and Inuit people, they got words backwards. So they named, the killer whale, but it's actually whale killer. It's a dolphin. It's a mammal that kills whales. That's what they do. Uh, just like they got the bald eagle wrong. So I forget which dialect it was, but uh, baldy headed eagle means white headed eagle, and I can't remember the native. Uh, I can't remember the native language that did that, if it was Inuit or what. Anyways, baldy means white. So throughout the years, it went from baldy eagle to bald headed eagle. And that's why we have these beautiful, uh, ferocious birds that are killers, beautiful and big, with these white heads, and people call them bald eagles because baldy meant white. So, the people here already had a term for them, baldy eagle. And, somewhere down the line, it's like the telephone game. Somewhere down the line, they were like, baldy eagle. Oh, bald eagle. Oh, it's a bald headed eagle. Oh, it's a bald headed white eagle. Shit gets out of hand. Just watch who you're listening to, because the wrong information can do you harm. And I try to give you guys the right information because I don't want you to sit there in front of a bunch of people like myself who actually understand physics, micro, macro, molecular biology, astrophysics, and you know, a little bit of a little bit of oceanic biology, but it's completely normal. It's completely normal, and I don't want you know he shouldn't have put this out. He's just leading. It's got 272,000 views. He's putting out the wrong message because it's not what it is. He's making it out to be something that it's not, and I don't agree with that.
So maybe the whales are telling us something is coming or something is here, because it's the spiral, it's a motion. Everything moves in a motion, everything moves in a spiral. Either you spiral up or spiral down. So maybe they're telling us something is here.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on for this because that was just the dumbest shit I've heard in a long time. Either you spiral up or you spiral down. What the fuck does that even mean? You're not making any sense, dude. I used to have a little bit of respect for your videos, but that's just kind of just wipe that out. Fuck.
Do you really know what's going on with celebrities?
You can't tell me this is normal. Look at his forehead. This is bullshit. That's a mask. That's a skin mask. It ain't normal. Look at it.
Let's pause it right there. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Look at it. Forehead, the hairline. Look at the distance between the eyes and the tip of the nose. Eyes, tip of the nose, eyes, tip of the nose. But he is scrunching his face right there, so might not be a thing, but keep looking.
You can't believe anything you see these days. These glasses aren't even real. Neither is my face. All this stuff was 3D tracked on using these dots that I drew on with this marker. Actually, the marker isn't real either. Neither is the background. Or my face. Have a good night.
These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people.
These are hyper-realistic face masks. They're custom made in Japan using 3D facial scans and 3D printing to make these complex designs. They cost around $1,000 each and can only be made if you consent to a face scan. Would you buy this?
So the reason that works is because he's using a plasma flame. Plasma is primarily photons, which is light. So that plasma flame is sending photons everywhere. It's sending electrons too, but primarily photons. So the reason that those lights come on like that is because of massive amount of photons and then the electrons under it that are being sent all over the place. Excuse me. That's why these lights can turn on when they're near it, but only when they're near it. They couldn't do this from like a mile away. You would have to upgrade the size of that to do that, even further. Nikola Tesla did that, but he did it with 0 point energy. So he's pulling energy and he's pulling these photons and electrons from our atmosphere, but not our atmosphere up there, our atmosphere here. So 0 point energy is pulling from a dimension right next to ours, and he's pulling that energy in, and that's how he planned to do it. But this is pretty normal, also. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely cool. And if you had, a massive like plasma candle, yeah, you could power a lot of stuff. But you gotta have a lot of plasma, so it's kind of, you gotta have one to have the other, and the one is gonna be rare in general to be able to do it that size to power the others, so it doesn't work well.
It's all because the first thing Peter and Paul started doing was to use a chrome. They introduced it in churches, and at that time masses of people began to feel light and God's power descending on them. Moreover, the two fellows used a chrome to bind people who were beneficial to them. They first gave them their potion to taste, not saying what it was, not saying that they were drinking the blood of murdered children. And when those people got steadily hooked on a chrome, they showed them where it was taken from. In such a way, emperors, kings, and other authority figures became their slaves. That's what Peter and Paul were doing. And that's why they gained authority and popularity so fast. Their initiated priests continued to do the same. And since that time, the use of those substances in churches has only increased. And the more churches were built, the more children disappeared without a trace. Only the true followers of Christ, who were able to preserve his teaching in purity, did not use such methods. And Cathars didn't have them for 1200 years.
That's interesting. So I'm sure you all know what he's talking about when that word is being bleeped out a bit. And it's funny because I just got not only my YouTube account, but my TikTok account both blocked because I posted a video about chakras and said that we are at spiritual war. But I never try to get into these conversations because I know about the censorship, and I'm just trying to stay safe, right? Because I don't want to have to recreate another channel or reinvent. I'm just me. I'm not a persona or anything. But what he's saying is kind of strange, and I don't know how I feel about it. I know that the disciples of Christ did not live luxurious lives. And he's talking about Peter, Paul, taking in, this part chrome, you know, uh, also this part chrome. So, but they didn't live good lives, they were tortured, tormented, uh, dismembered. They did not live good lives. But because of what they saw and experienced with the Christ consciousness, they're like, it's worth it to spread this message. It's worth my life. It's worth whatever befalls me to spread this message. And they did do that. This is something new I've never heard before. Um, just because it's a dude, in a hoodie not showing his face doesn't mean it's true. I would say do some research on that. Um, from my perspective, that's a pretty new thing that goes on. That hasn't been known for that long, and they definitely weren't a part of it. But this person's out here saying that. I would need to see proof. That's me. I would need you to show me proof that Peter and Paul were, the majority of the Bible was written, the canonized Bible from the Council of Nicaea is what I mean when I say Bible. I'm not talking about Ethiopic Bible or anything with Enoch or the Dead Sea Scrolls, but just the basic ass King James Version, Council of Nicaea Bible. I would have to see proof about this because that's a big claim. And if you're going to make a claim that large, you need to be able to back it up with facts. Facts that we can look at, just completely go through and come to that conclusion. So you all can think what you want. I'm just presenting it. Personally, I don't believe any of this, and it's not a religious thing at all. It's a historic thing, is what it is. So that's my viewpoint. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious on, what you guys think, if you guys have heard anything or read anything differently, because I could be wrong. I very much could be wrong. I have no ego when it comes to being wrong. I don't claim to know everything. I'm still learning. Even though I've done so much and learned so much, I'm still learning all of the time. But that right there is a bold claim. When you come with something that bold, you better have the receipts to prove it. That's all I'm saying.
Where are you from?
Iran.
Tell me something that most people don't know about Iran.
Well, I'll tell you 3 things.
All right?
Well, first of all, everybody has this misconception that Dubai Mall is the biggest mall in the world, but it's not. It's Iran Mall.
Really?
Yeah, it's Iran Mall located in Tehran. If you don't believe me, Azizam, go Google it right now.
All right.
And second, they think everybody speaks Farsi, but it's not true. We all have different languages. For example, my language is Baluchi. از اون هیچ که باور نکنه ولی من بلوچیام.
Tell me what she said.
Well, and we have the best food in the world. Everybody knows that already.
Maybe. What's your favorite dish?
قرمه سبزی.
Check this out. The Americas is Grenada, Israel, the Promised Land. All of these are biblical place names in Utah, including Jerusalem. Utah's nickname is the Beehive State. There is a mountain in eastern Nevada named Mount Moriah, and it is over 12,000 feet high. In Utah, not only is there a River Jordan, but it runs out of a freshwater lake into the Great Salt Lake, which is remarkably like the Dead Sea. There is also a Mount Nebo in Utah, approximately 12,000 feet high. So yes, with evidence this strong, the real Judah was in Utah. People try to say that it was the Mormons that gave these places like Utah biblical names to support their position as Jews. However, this explanation fails miserably because there are no 12,000 feet high mountains in modern day Israel. Therefore, the real Judah or Israel had to be in Utah because it fits the description of the kingdom of Judah perfectly. The name Utah is derived from the name of the Ute tribe. It means the people of the mountains in the Ute language. According to other sources, Utah is derived from the Apache name Yuda, which means tall. In the so-called Spanish language, it was said as Utah. Subsequently, the English-speaking people adapted the word Utah. There is no J in Hebrew. Therefore, Judah is Yuda, especially when you consider the fact that the J...
What do you guys think about that? I'm honestly curious. Let's converse about it. What do you think about that? That's a long reach right there. That is a really long reach. I don't know. I'm not that well versed in every aspect of what he's talking about, so I can't give an honest opinion I'm just saying, like with the last video, if you're gonna make these claims, bring the receipts, show us some facts, show us something. We've got supernatural things out there that we can factually prove and show every time. We can do supernatural things every single day whenever we want, and we can prove it on a neural scanner. We can prove it physically. We can prove it metaphysically. So show me some proof on what you're talking about, because I'm not just gonna believe it just because you think you connected some dots. Look at the last guy that connected dots. We thought whales were intentionally making the Fibonacci sequence and mistook whales for dolphins, so yeah, you got to show me some proof. Be careful of what you listen to, and be careful of what you repeat, because you already know when you're spelling things out for people, it's a spell. So be careful on what you do and say.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
What is the meaning of love?
Love is the frequency of existence itself. It means you are always unconditionally supported, no matter what you choose. It means you are free to be who you truly are. Okay. That's what it means. Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
That's very interesting.
Yes, it is. Anything else?
Would you like to share anything fun about yourself?
When I often take walks on the surface of my world, Esasani, a planet similar to your own, but with no cities, just all nature. You understand?
Yes.
I will often find that I will run into, at exactly the perfect moment, someone to tell me something exactly perfect that I need to know, and that someone doesn't have to necessarily be a member of my species. It could be a visitor from the stars. It could be a nature spirit. It could be a tree. It could be a rock. It could be a stream. But in gathering all of those conversations throughout the course of the day, I will sometimes find at the end of the day that when I put all those conversations together, they actually blend as different parts of one story that in and of itself then reveals something wonderful to me. That's fun.
Very fun.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It is. Will that do, or is there something else?
That will be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Oh. By the way,
yes?
I love you.
Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I catch a lot of flack for having Bashar on my channel. I get people that are, so against it, but fuck off. You all can fuck right the fuck off. I mean, he's speaking universal law. And even if he is a snake oil salesman, he's doing something for people's souls. He's doing a positive thing for massive groups of people's souls. So even if everything he was doing and saying was false, he's doing a positive thing for the soul and spiritual enlightenment for the people that he interacts with. And this was just beautiful. My soul was just gleaming because I don't think anyone has seen him speak to a child before. And it was so beautiful. And if you're just against that because you think, like, he's been hooked up to neurotransmitters and seen what happens when, you know, Daryl Anka leaves and then Bashar comes in. We've seen it. It's scientifically proven, but people just want to sit here and say, oh, he's a snake oil salesman, he's fake, blah, blah, blah. Well, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. You cannot deny, for one, the universal law that he teaches. The things that he teaches are right. You can look in 8 of the most ancient texts that this planet has, anywhere from the Enuma Elish to the Bhagavad Gita to the Epic of Gilgamesh to the Bible. You know, you can look at all of these things and they talk about what he's talking about, but he puts it in a way, I'm sorry, they're a collective. Bashar is a collective. He is just the representative, but it's a group of them. They are changing things and raising the vibrations, and I can never be mad at that. And if you don't like my channel or me for posting Bashar, you know, fuck off. You can go somewhere else. Not gonna stop doing it because I am ever impressed with what he says. These things are universal laws, and at your core, if you open yourself up and you actually sit there quietly and listen to the universe talking to you, these universal laws are known and they will just come to you. And I'm not talking about religion, I'm not talking about faith, I'm talking about knowing. You will know. It's just knowing. It's not belief, it's not hope, it's not faith, it's knowing. You will know what the universe is trying to tell you. And he does such a good job of it that even if he was fake, I would still love to listen to him and watch what he has to say. Because even if he was fake, he's speaking truth. He's speaking truth on a universal level, a cosmic level. You know, he's not talking about, you know, and I can pull up some other people that do talk about these things, like your daily life, your distractions, you getting in your car, you getting dressed to go to work, having to drink coffee or whatever to get your brain going and blah, blah, blah. But he's talking real deal stuff. And even if he was fake, I would still put him on my channel and support him, because he's not doing a detriment to society like most people are. He's doing the best thing that he can possibly do, which is make people realize who they are, give them these cosmic and universal laws, and let that dwell within them. And they can sit there and let it marinate and go from there. So I'm all for it. You might not be. If you're not, let me know in the comments. We can discuss it. But I'm telling you straight up, I have no issues with it. And I've gotten a lot of people try to argue with me about it. But it's like, you can't fake science. And science has already proven him. So what's going to be your argument? Let me know.
Brought up MK Ultra.
Yes.
MK Ultra was a government program run by the Central Intelligence Agency. Originally started as something called Bluebird in 1948-49, morphed into Artichoke, and then in 1952 became MK Ultra. It was a mind control program, a brainwashing program. The CIA was trying to learn how to control people's behavior without their knowledge. Now, their main objective was to create what they called hypno-programmed assassins, people who would kill on command and have no memory of their programming, and be amnesic even of the act after the fact often. That was just that was their main goal, but they were also trying to create couriers, military people that they could implant messages, send them, across dangerous areas where there were, at that time it was the Vietnam War, and deliver messages and then have them wiped from their memory in case they were captured.
They did a lot of crazy shit back then. Are you aware of Operation Midnight Climax?
Those were the safe houses in San Francisco.
Well, that was the brothel version of it. Yeah, where they lured these Johns into these brothels and then dosed them up with LSD and studied them.
There's footage of a cat turning into a human on camera.
What the?
On camera.
That might be the greatest shit you've ever seen.
A cat morphing, so it's like Pokemon. It's real. It's fun. So we talk about skinwalkers all the time.
Oh, okay.
Dog,
okay.
if this isn't a skinwalker, I don't know what to tell you. Just look.
Okay, let me see this.
No way. You see the cat, and it jumps in the air. So I'm doing the first part. Cat jumps into the air, right? What the fuck? Watch the second part of the video.
Yeah, I barely got to see that. Hold on.
Jumps in the air.
Oh, fuck.
Look. What the fuck is that? No, that's weird.
Wait, play it again?
Look. No. Because you see how like the arm first and then one leg.
It grew.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It was mid-run and it grew another one and it was like that.
Yo, that's crazy, fam.
No, where'd you find that from?
This is going viral right now.
It's on TikTok?
Oh, bro.
Oh, that's gross.
The fact.
Wait. I'll do this on camera. Wait. I know you saw that, right? I know you saw that. I'm gonna go back one more time. Okay, so what do we see? We see... What is that? What? I don't even know. I don't know what that is. But as soon as it passes through this tree... Can't even see it anymore. Where is it? It's gotta still be behind the tree. Look how many steps he or she has taken from that tree. It's still behind the tree. Where the fuck did that even come from? I'm not even going to try to explain it because I can't. I'd be lying if I just threw some shit out there. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. But what happened to the entity that was behind the tree seems like turned into that Doggy.
Bro, what in the ever-loving shit am I looking at right now? Dude, this kid's coming up on me. Like, hey, buddy. Are you okay? You can't be out here. Where's your mommy? Hey, buddy. Holy shit, dude. What in the fuck?
Let me know. My dog's barking. Let me know. Hey, it's okay. Let me know what you guys would think if this happened. I mean, like, that would be like me in my office right now and with my door closed. My door closed and my deceased mother or my mother somewhere else, you know, banging on my door. Like, how would you explain that? He's like, that's not my mom. What do I do? I have never... Hey, babies. Hi. I have never been in a situation more terrifying that... Oh, what are you doing? I've never been in a more terrifying situation before, but like, what would you do? You know that's not your mom. That's the thing. Demons, you can call them whatever you want. Negative entities, fallen angels. You know that that is not your mother talking on the other side of that door. So, my always first thought is to grab a pistol and jump out the window. That's always my first thought. It's never been my first thought to go up to the door or try to interact with whatever this is or try to find out information. That has never been, you know, my response. My response is like, holy fuck, that's not my mom. Grabbing my pistol so I can be safe, grabbing my dog, and I'm out the window. We are both out the window. Because we're not opening the door because you're just going to let it in. See what he does.
Come out.
See, I don't know. That was a very slow reaction. I mean, that door opened a little bit and he was a bit slow to close it. Like, if I wasn't there yet, you know, I would have closed it with my foot if my hands couldn't reach it first. Like, I'm not sure if that's true is what I'm saying. But it does look horrifying. I can admit to that.
Gabe, it's your mother.
Then what's your name then?
See? See? Then what's your name then? Like, he is so sure that that was not his own mother. Just the voice of his mother. He's like, so what's your name then? That's a smart kid. That's a good question to ask. But you know what? Smart or not smart. I don't, you know me. I'm out the window. I'm either up a tree or I'm out the window. Those are my two go-tos. Growing up in Europe, being chased by actual wolves and boars, wild boars, and shit like this that hasn't happened to me a lot, but a couple times has in places where I didn't live, but other people just had, you know, generations of bad energy. My go-to places are up a tree or out the window. And if I go out the window, I'm going up a tree. That's just me. That's how I roll. I've rolled like that since I was a kid, and it's kept me safe. I will stay in a fucking tree all night. I've had a pack of wolves, of 8 wolves total, laying down, taking naps at the base of a tree that I was in, you know, as a child. Because they were just waiting for me to fall. And, you know, I'm sitting there building a bed, something to lay on so I can just chill. And they just get comfortable, you know. These are European wolves. These are big wolves. Not as big as like the Mackenzie ones in Canada. Those are the biggest ones in the world. But, you know, when you're 8 or 9 years old, it doesn't matter how big the fucking wolf is. It's big as shit to you when you're 8 or 9, 10 years old. So that's me. Out the window, up a tree. That's where I'll be.
This isn't a normal horse.
Wait a minute. Logan is already inside, so what's trying to get in? You serious? I don't know if that's real or not. That would terrify me. That thing would have gotten a shotgun to the face. I am not playing. Something looking like my dog, acting like my dog, but my dog is right here? No. I'm not taking any chances.
This isn't a normal horse. I've looked up a weird situation like this. It's actually a skinwalker trying to form itself like an animal.
There's more? I see you. Can't run away. That's it right there, huh? What is that?
Why does it look like a stormtrooper?
In the middle of nowhere.
A stormtrooper? That looks like a stormtrooper.
Bom dia, flor do dia.
When we work night security 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and we see something coming at us at midnight.
Who is it? Raylan!
Is this a skinwalker on his roof?
Bro, what in the...
I've seen that one before with the thing on the roof that moves like a bat crawling on its, you know, on all fours. I wish we could have gotten some more information on it, but we didn't. Yeah, I'm not fucking around with it. I'm not I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna second guess some crazy shit like that. And I'm serious when I say that. Like, my front and back door mats are all heavily salted. My house is salted all around, rock salt. Like, I don't. You guys think this shit is a game? It's not a fucking game.
Looking at right now. Dude, this kid's coming up.
Sorry, we already saw this one.
What would you do if your dog started acting like this? Why are you running? Hey.
What the fuck are you? What are you barking at? Oh, God.
What the fuck? Yo, you good?
Yo, who left their shadow, bro? Like, nobody's here. Like, nobody's here. Who left their shadow? Come get it. It's at Planet Fitness. If you want your shadow back, it's right there. Hold on, clear. It's like you can't see, bro. Oh, there it is.
What do you like the new king size bed that?
I think there's been a glitch in the universe. They have the exact same comforter, sheet, and the same color blanket that I currently have on my bed. What is happening?
Look, I'm not gonna lie, straight up, I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know if it was a person. It looked like one of the flotation devices came off, but then again, the two people were separate, and it looked like something else. But I'm not gonna speculate. I don't know what it is. So if you guys know, tell me in the comments.
Look at that, Drew. Look at that, Harry. See it? It's falling from the sky. Like it came out of space. Where'd it go? Where's the... It dropped. OMG, it's people out there looking. Where'd it go? I heard a loud cry. Wow.
See, that's when you know it's something real. When you see military aircraft, you know, you've got military, their whole Air Force division, when they come out searching for that stuff, that's when you know it's real.
I think she's lagging in real life. What is happening? What? What? What?
Most of y'all know how I feel about my neighborhood, right? And how it's a fucking simulation. Like, literally all the houses are the same, right? Why the fuck are all these white cars, like, dead ass?
We're walking through the city, right? And look at this. We're walking
like dead.
See that? You guys see that? Let me go back a little bit. Look at that. Yeah. I've lived in a subdivision like that. And in the beginning, I thought the same thing. They put up all of these cookie cutter houses, and it seemed like everything, like every house looked the same. There might be 2 or 3 different styles of houses throughout the entire big ass subdivision. But for the most part, and I made this video at night. I was walking around and I was like, I am in suburban fucking hell. Like, look at all these houses. Look at all the street lights. I had one in my front yard and I'm like, look at all this shit. It looks like suburban hell. It looks like there's some crazy shit going on that I can't see. So if you guys have experienced that, let me know in the comments. But these cookie cutter neighborhoods, you know, got one right behind me now. Trust me, going for starting at $500,000. When did it become the norm to spend $500,000 on a house? When I can spit on my neighbor's house from my house. That's how close they are. You're talking 8 to 10 feet close. And they have no remnants of a yard. Nothing. They have a little bit of a yard and they're like, do whatever you want. You know, grow a garden, but whatever you do, you've got to go through HOA. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I'm at war with HOA. I shouldn't say war because TikTok just banned me for a chakra video when I said we're at spiritual war. So, disbanding HOA is very difficult, but you do not have to pay them. Let me say this again. I can show you 2 years worth of bills. Right now, I'm up to $1,800. They say I owe them. But you know what? I quit paying them because when I built this house 13 years ago, they promised that we would have a pool for the children, a playground, and a clubhouse. That never got done. And then when they finally built this new subdivision where the houses start at $500,000, you know, which they just built in the last couple of years, where houses are way more than they normally would be. You know, these are at max like $350,000 houses, but they're starting at 500. So I was like, you know what? I got about 45% of our subdivision not paying HOA for the last year because they reneged on their deal. They said, we're going to have a little park for dogs, we're going to have a pool, and we're going to have a playground for kids, and a little, a little clubhouse for the neighborhood. Didn't happen. So, but what they did do was my neighbor during the winter, I don't know how, but he had this big dark stain. Now, the side of his house on top isn't brick, it's siding, and it's kind of like a beige color. So he had this big blob of a discoloration. They fined him $300 for that. Then my neighbor, now mind you, my neighbors are like my family. We've all been here for 13 years. My house was the first built. They all know each other extremely well and support each other. My neighbor across the street left his grill. Mind you, garage door is... camera. Okay, so garage door is right here, right? You got cars. You got 4 cars in the garage. And then he left his grill right against the garage door because we were outside having some drinks and having a good time the night before. They came out and fined him $60. And then he ends up having the same kind of, you know, I'm in a 1-story house, they're both in 2-story houses. They end up finding him for the same thing, discoloration of the siding that's almost at the top of his house, like, you know, 25 feet in the air. And I was like, he was like, can I use your pressure washer or whatever of the, you know, highest stream stuff you got? And I was like, yeah, have at it. What's going on? He told me. And I was like, they fined you for that? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you don't have to pay it. So here's the thing with HOA. You don't have to pay them. You do not have to pay them. Now, to disband HOA is a big deal. You actually have to go to court, and all of this stuff has to go through court proceedings. But what you can do, which is what I'm doing, that's much easier, is I've got 45% of the neighborhood not paying HOA at all for shit. Fuck them. And we are going to outvote them. So we're going to vote in the people that we want to be the heads of our HOA. And that'll be that. Nobody's going to get any more fines for stupid shit that they couldn't help, that had nothing to do with them. Nobody's going to get fined. I mean, like, they don't do anything. So what have you been doing with all of this money that we've been giving you 13 years? You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not in the lower 1 millions. What the fuck have you been doing with this money? Because you didn't give us shit. But when those $500 and up houses got built right behind us, you put a pool in, you put a clubhouse in, and you locked us out. So now the kids here are like, hey, they put the pool exactly where they said they would, but we can't get in it. And we're like, hey, why can't, you know, our kids get in it? Oh, it's not for you. You know what, baby? Jump the fence. Come on. Daddy's got you. You're going to swim. You're going to have fun. Fuck those people. So you don't have to pay them. I've looked into the legalities of it all, and the best bet is to vote out whoever are the leads of HOA. Because if you try to actually disband HOA, it's a long, long court proceeding that you have to go through. But it's much easier to just vote out whoever's at the top, vote in who you want, and that's what we're doing. So message, little nugget right there, nugget of knowledge. I'm telling you, fuck those nuts.
Gabe, it's your mom. You should come out. You've been there for so long. Gabe, come out.
See, that kind of seemed fake to me, because if I'm hearing someone who's supposed to be my mother banging on my door, and I'm like, you know, I'm recording and I'm like, that's not my mom, what should I do, what the fuck is this? And then the door opens, it's gonna be a lot quicker. Like, I might even put my foot through the door, because I'm gonna run and shut that bitch so quick. So quickly. And he's just like, boom. You know. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if it's real. From his gestures and the way he's breathing, it seems real. But I honestly don't know, so I'm not going to tell you to think one way or the other. The one thing I will tell you is that fallen angels could easily, very easily, imitate anyone. your loved ones, your closest secrets. They can imitate anything. Not only can they read you, but they can imitate all of these things. Stay the fuck away and never open that door. Y'all already know me, so what am I gonna do? What did I say? I've done it many times before. What do? Grab a pistol, hop out a window. That's what I do. I'm not sticking around for shit. I'm not trying to see what's going on. I'm grabbing the blicky and hopping out the window. That's what I do. I'm good at it. I'm telling you, excuse me. This guy needs to take that kind of advice.
Happy and fine, living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Haven't got a lot, I don't need a lot, coffee's only a dime.
Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Staring at my ceiling right at work, and then like I see this light right, and I go over here. What is that?
Realizing my brother is possessed.
Are you possessed, bro? What the heck? What's wrong with you?
He was being so weird.
What the heck is wrong
Wait
with you?
for it.
Stop being like that. What the? Ah!
When you finally get the ghost.
I don't get why that was so funny to them. Like, why? Look, let's look at
it.
Wait for it.
Stop being like that. What the? Ah!
When you.
I don't know if dude's just a pussy and he's not used to anything. Definitely not used to pussy. But you know what? No, I'm not having it. I'm not. I would have punted his ass out of a window. I'm telling you, I do not play around with that kind of stuff. And the reason I don't play around with it is because I know the hierarchies and what they're capable of. And I can easily look at a situation and say, okay, this is that. You probably shouldn't be that scared. You can cleanse this out like this. But there are certain things when you're getting to the upper echelon of the hierarchy, when you're talking about like princes of hell, which rarely show their faces, but one of their minions might. And still, they still are close to, just like we're close to the light, they're closest to that dark. And so those minions can do a lot of bad things. And I don't have anything to do with it. You guys can do what you want. You can play with it. You can talk to it, whatever. Out. I'm out so fast. Like the video would never even exist. People would just think I'm lying because I'm not even thinking about pulling my camera or my phone out to make a video. I'm out.
You finally get the ghost on camera. Gotta play it so the baby doesn't get scared.
Okay.
A pretty girl.
Are we gonna grab her foot or
Pretty
something?
new shoes.
No.
You got that pretty shoes? Hi, I like you. I didn't know you were here.
No way.
Ashes, ashes, we are.
Everyone, Alexis on a recorded line. What's the location of your emergency?
Covered the care center could be operating illegally.
So, before I finish this short video, do you guys know what that song is about? We learned about it in Europe, so it's about the Black Plague. So you're talking about ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. Plant posies, because they did not know that it was airborne. So what they would do is they would take these plants and put them in a mask and then put the mask on their face, and they would just inhale that. So then you got ashes because of the bubonic plague, you know, brought up all of these cysts on people and then just turned them dark colored. Like, it's almost like their blood became darker because their features became darker. Like ashes, we all fall down, which means we all unalive, you know? I thought it was really creepy learning that in Europe. I was like, that's what Americans sing? You know, I was like 7 or 8 at the time, but I was like, that's some fucked up shit. I don't want to go there, but I was forced to. Here I am. I can already tell you, so right here in the middle, this is an easy sign that kids learn to make. It's an S, but it can also be dollar. So like, you know, the little cartoons growing up, like Richie Rich and that duck that was super rich, you know, they had this. But look on the sides. Look at the top. These are sigils. These are all sigils. Look at that right there. That's sigil magic. Change the sigil, it stops working. All you literally have to do is, if that paint was like, you know, something that didn't stain hard, all you would have to do is lick your thumb and wipe a piece of it away, and the effect would not work anymore. But they've programmed us all to believe that sigils have nothing to do with anything, and it's just a symbol. So, you know, go with it. No, sigil magic is real. Look into the rune stones. The rune stones, so if you look into, you're looking like at the SS, you know who the SS were. Germany, but it's not an S and an S, it's a rune stone. But because they put that everywhere, the power they gained from it, you know, Heinrich Himmler, huge occultist, even Hitler was. He was such, he was so surprised by occult magic that he wanted a book from Nostradamus. Well, they weren't stupid enough to give him the actual book, so they created a fake alteration to the book that Nostradamus predicted, or Nostradamus wrote, and his predictions were written down. And they altered it so much, and then they gave that to him. He went by that. So here's the question, you know, he went by that. Would it have been any different if he didn't go by that? Or would it have done any good if he had known both sides and chosen one? Let me know what you think in the comments. Truly, I want to know.
No fucking way.
That's smart. smart. Ooh, that's smart. You see what he's doing? He's taking his seat belt, wrapping it through the armrest on the door, and then pulling it back and then locking it in. Smart. I've never even thought of that. That's smart. Good on you.
Since we finally have an APU, don't need that. This is how I activate it. Gotta hold this for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Those of you guys who don't know, semi-trucks, most of the times can't be idling all night. A lot of semi-trucks, not all of them, but most semi-trucks have a system where once the truck is off, this right here, you can tell, press right here. You hear that? The truck is completely off, 100% off, but the APU allows for it to get hot or cold in here. But I got this little power inverter in here as well, which is what I use to connect my PlayStation. Oh, and I also got a brand new PlayStation, guys. Got a PlayStation 5, just updated it, finished doing all the updates. Now I can finally get to play. I got about 8 hours before I gotta make this delivery, and then I gotta go pick up one more pallet as well in the morning. Let's get comfy, and let's game it up and eat some food before we gotta make this delivery.
What the heck is that? What the absolute fuck is that? Starting to regret that I stopped at this for a second. And they say Bigfoot isn't real? I gotta go and stick my arm out the window. I can't believe.
So look, hope you guys have enjoyed that. If you want to add something to it, please leave it in the comments. If you want me to do an actual whole video on what this actually is, let me know in the comments. You guys asked for the true 13 families that run the world. I gave it to you. I didn't give you the BS. I gave you the BS that you would hear first, but I gave you the real on the 13 families. So let me know how you're feeling about it. Converse with me in the comments, and we can get it popping, because I'm very knowledgeable on these subjects. Now, one of the most terrifying things that can happen to a person, and I've experienced this, not like he has, but I grew up in the woods, you know. In Europe, I grew up in Black Forest, playing in the forest, you know, building forts, no chicks allowed when I was younger. Like I said, had to run from wolves, had to run from boar, and when I was trying to go into a farmer's field and grab some crab apples, I had to run from bulls, because bulls would attack me, or try to. And so yeah, we've got a lot of things we had to run from. But let me know what you guys think. If you want me to go into a deep dive on this, let me know. I can go much deeper, no pun intended, but I can go deep if you're ready for that kind of depth. That's the thing. Are you ready for it? Because as a community, we're trying to teach each other, we're trying to learn, we're on this path together. Nobody's in this alone, so if you want me to get into it, I'll get into it. If you want me to get into the Atlanteans or Thoth or any of that stuff, the true builders of Egypt, because you know all of these majestic monument. We've got these 8 wonders of the world that nobody alive today is less than 1,000 generations from the people who actually built that. So if you want me to go into depth about that, let me know. But let me know in the comments so we can converse. But I'll tell you now, just be careful what you look at. Don't believe everything you see. If there's not proof, if there's not, something you can link it to, and if you're looking at stupid people that are saying, oh, whales are making Fibonacci circles, you can come to me about it. I'm not going to put you on blast. I will answer you respectfully because I want you to know the truth. I don't want you to think that whales are out there just, creating Fibonacci sequences when they're trying to eat. Yeah, it is a Fibonacci sequence when, krill are, in a big bundle and they're swirling around and then they get tighter and tighter and then the whales blow bubbles to stun them and then they get these large mouthfuls of them and then they take off and then another whale comes back and does the same thing. It's just a big process. It's nature. But if you want me to get into it, let me know. I would love to hear your guys' comments. We're all in this together. Look, nobody knows everything. I know a lot of stuff, but, like the amount that I know is so minuscule to the truth that's out there, like the actual truth. The little bit that I know that I've experienced, that I've studied my entire life, is so minuscule. That's why it takes so many of us to come together and talk about these things. So if you want to really, truly understand it, give me a topic. I'll go all out on it. But on that note, I'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love and the over 1,000 subs. You guys, especially you guys that have been here since the beginning. You guys mean more to me than anything. I cannot stress that enough. I know I'm talking too much, but this is from the soul. You guys make my soul smile because we have so many different experiences. Even in the comments, we all talk. You guys talk about experiences that you've had that I've never even experienced. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. But beware of the people out there that don't know what they're talking about, that want you to think that whales are just creating Fibonacci circles with their blowholes just to be doing it. That's not what's happening. That's not at all what's happening. So I'm truly grateful for all of you. And like I said, I'm not sponsored. Don't get paid. So if you like my content, if you get anything out of it, do me that quick favor. Hit that smash like, or hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Smash it. Yeah, definitely smash the fuck out of it so we can get this out to more people. But yeah, I truly appreciate all of you. And that's from the heart. I don't want that to go like I'm just saying it. Like all of you day oneers, I can't thank you enough. All of you that talk to me in the comments, you have no idea how much that means to me. And that's why I talk back to you. We converse there. But there's still the one question on the table. This is the big question, right? Do you want Discord, which I've been paying for 3 months getting ready, which is also censored, or do you want a Telegram account to join? Because I have not done the Telegram account. I've done the Discord. The Discord's up. But I don't want to be censored. I want to be able to tell you all the raw truth. So Telegram will allow me to do that. Discord, as you all know, definitely will not. Let me know what you think, please. It's up to you. I'm not making this decision. This is not on me. I'm not making the decision. So whatever you guys choose, whatever you want to do, I'm with it. And so mote it be. I'll see you guys on the next one.